And what we're witnessing in the U.S. is a serious political shift, which is moving the U.S. political establishment gradually away from this ironclad defense of Israel's interests, to the point where you have only 18% of registered Democrats supporting Israel's Gaza genocide, Israel's war in Gaza. Only 18%. In a generation, it will be 0.8%, maybe 8%. I mean, the boomers live forever, but they're not even supporting it. Republican support for Israel's operation in Gaza has gone down 10 points in the last 2 months. Independent support is now at a bare minority and has dropped over 20 points. Of course, we don't live in a real democracy, but there will come a point when the U.S. will not provide Israel with a protective umbrella. And at that point, you will see the enemies that Israel has engendered rain down furious rebukes, as it said in the book of Ezekiel. And it's not going to be pretty. They're setting the stage for that right now. I really think Al-Aqsa flood, October 7th, is just the preview of something bigger and more severe. So, enjoy your time on the beach in Tel Aviv while it lasts. Under this current leadership, there isn't really any long-term planning. And the slaughter of the aid convoy is just a one key piece in the picture that I just painted.
There are even some Israelis who think or are worried that they've even lost Donald Trump, one of the most ardent supporters. This was in the New York Times recently. Trump's call for Israel to finish up war alarms some on the right. Recent remarks he made urging an end to the Gaza conflict with no insistence on freeing the Israeli hostages first were another sign or were another departure from conservative support for Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm not sure if that fear is well-founded. Trump, is partly responsible for this whole disaster because he, did
Definitely.
a lot to undermine Palestinian rights, moving the embassy to Jerusalem, supporting Israel as it massacred Palestinians during the Great March of Return, recognizing Israel's theft of the Golan Heights, pursuing these normalization deals that sidelined the Palestinians and entrench Israel's ties to Gulf regimes. But Trump has been saying some stuff recently, talking about the need for an end to this war, which, if you're being charitable, could be interpreted as him calling on this war to end and not give unconditional support to Israel, although, not necessarily. But the point is, Biden's position is not popular, and it very well could cost him.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. We don't expect much of Trump, especially with Jared there. He's going to be somewhere in a powerful, influential position. You look at Trump in the interviews, he'll say, they need to finish up or finish the job, and you don't quite know what it means. Does it mean finish the genocide? And then he'll say, it's not good that you bring down those buildings on top of like entire families. It just doesn't look good. Maybe you could stop doing that. So he knows Netanyahu's a psychopath. He doesn't like being bossed around by a guy who runs some crappy little apartheid colony 5,000 miles away, but he's kind of owned just like Biden. He's owned by the Adelson family and other big donors. At the same time, what's happening in the right-wing grassroots is highly significant. We've never seen this before, starting with Candace Owens, kind of like finding her voice on Palestine. It is a religious and kind of chauvinistic voice where she's coming at it as a Christian. That's her way of sort of justifying her sympathy for Palestinians. She's a mother of 3. How could you not just be like sickened seeing these children killed all the time? It's also a disgust with being controlled by this little neocon talentless rat boy who won't let her speak. And you just have had Black performers and Black celebrities feel like they're kind of like under the yoke of crazy Zionists. And Candace Owens is really speaking to that. Not endorsing all the language she's used, but it's something we have to recognize. She's a highly significant figure in the right-wing grassroots. Alex Jones is someone that I've criticized for a long time for kind of pushing a pro-Israel line. I called him mainstream alternative media for that. He's flipped. He's calling what's happening in Gaza a robotic genocide. And he actually promoted Jeremy Lafredo's video of the Israeli grassroots aid blockade, the pro-genocide protest in southern Israel to prevent aid from getting into Gaza. And Alex Jones expressed pure disgust with this. He's even hosted, Middle Eastern journalists to talk about this genocide. Tucker Carlson is starting to find his voice on this and speaking out more. This is the #1 media personality on Elon Musk's Twitter X. And I think he's going to become more vocal in the coming days. It is a situation where younger Christians, including Christian evangelicals, are realizing that there are Palestinian Christians, that there are actions like Christ at the checkpoint. They're watching the sermons by Munter Isaac from the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Bethlehem. Christ in the Rubble, his Easter sermon was extremely powerful. And, really like the only people left who increasingly in the Republican Party who are supporting this genocide are Christian Zionist dweebs, geriatric Christian Zionist dweebs who wear diapers to go to John Hagee's sermons from the Schofield Bible, where he and his whole operation was founded out of AIPAC, or Charlie Kirk, this complete tool of controlled opposition, whose entire operation was funded by Zionists through the David Horowitz Freedom Center, who goes over to Israel and gives speeches with Im Tertzu, the youth wing of Netanyahu's party. These are complete sellouts who are not representing the authentic right grassroots, and they try to copy and just bite off the dissident right. But everybody in the right knows they're the real dissident right. They know they're fake. So we've never seen this before. I'm telling you, a generational shift is coming in the US. A clash is building, and it's going to lead to pressure that will ultimately remove Israel's strategic protective umbrella across the Middle East. And there's nothing Israel can do to stop it except shut down our democracy, shut down freedom of speech, shut down TikTok, fire university presidents, ban student clubs, and bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb. That's all they can do.
I really hope you're right about that. And I was chuckling before only because I'm pretty sure that Alex Jones called it a genocide before AOC did. I think right after Alex Jones called it a genocide, AOC came out and called it a genocide in a really good speech, actually, on the House floor that she gave, to her credit. But it's still funny that in this era, Alex Jones outflanked AOC